Hi everyone, I'm Mary Felling PT, and if you're someone who's been struggling with hip pain or hip weakness, I've got 3 great exercises for you today that are going to get you into recovery very swiftly. So all you're going to need is a place to lie down, and if you have a yoga block, we'll be needing that for this first exercise, but you can also use some stacked books if you don't have a yoga block. So you're going to lie on your side. We're going to do this on both hips. I'll show you on one hip, but if both of your hips hurt, you'd want to redo this again. All right, so in this position, your knee is going to come forward the level of the hip and rest on the stacked books or the yoga block. So I'm not down here. My knee is right in front of my hip. So make sure you're in this position to start. And then my ankle is directly below my knee. So my ankle is not back here. I'm not stretched out. It's got a 90-degree angle there and a 90-degree angle here. And here we go. We're going to do 3 sets of 10, and you're just lifting your ankle up and down. And as you lift it, you'll feel some strengthening going on. You'll feel a tightening in your hip deep. That's what we're going for, those internal rotators of the hip. They get very little strengthening. Here's number 7. And I'm just kind of going slow. We're really taking our time through this. I'm not whipping through these exercises. There's number 9. Number 10. We're going to take a short break for 2 breaths. And again, check your position and then bring that ankle up. The knee stays on the block. The knee stays on those books, whatever you've got under there. Very good. Here's number 6. I'm going to do 4 more in the second set. And we're also doing a quality lower. I'm not just dropping the foot down. We're working the muscle up and down in concentric and eccentric contraction. Take a break, 2 breaths. And we're off. So we're strengthening the internal rotators because as we age, by the time we're about 45, 50, these internal rotators don't get a lot of play. They don't have a lot of strengthening being done on a normal basis just because of the way we posture ourselves, the way we use our hips. And so they start getting weak and they cause problems when they're weak. Last one. 3 sets. Very good. Okay, you can take that block, put it away. All right. Now, in this next exercise, I'm going to have you bend your knees and stack your legs right on top of the other. Knees are bent, and the soles of your feet are in line with your buttock on your back. So a good way to know you're doing that is lie on a couch, put the soles of your feet and your back to the back of the couch. You'll be lined up. I don't have my knees way up here. I don't have my knees straight out. They're about halfway between. All right, this is called a clamshell. Keep your hip over the other hip. And in this position, you're just going to open up the top knee and bring it back down. And in this position, this hip does not move back. All right, so we're going to do 3 sets of 10. And you're in that position, feet aligned with your low back and your buttock. Open up the knee, come down. That's called the clamshell. We're getting the gluteus medius. The gluteus medius is also another muscle that starts losing strength as we age just because our postures and where we tense stops using the gluteus medius. But it's so important for hip balance, hip strength, giving us endurance through the day to get things done. Takes the load off the low back. All right, and then take a break. We're going to do 2 more sets. And here we go, set number 2. Hip stays over the other hip. Don't let yourself fall back like that. If you're forward and you can only get your knee up a little bit, that's okay. That means it really needs it. But eventually, after a couple of days of this, you'll find that knee is getting higher and higher. Here's number 10. All right, short break. And third exercise, ready? Or sorry, third set, not your third exercise. Hip stays over my other hip. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, very good. Take a break. We're going to be on your back now, and we're going to do a stretch for a muscle that gets very overused in our society. It's called the piriformis muscle. It's deep, deep in the hips. And we're going to do a very nice deep stretch. So we're going to not only stretch the muscle, we're going to stretch the fascia on this. And you just want to cross your leg, one leg over the other. If you're just trying to get one hip done, the hip that hurts, that should be the leg on the top. All right, so you've got your knees crossed. You're going to bring them up, and you can hold on to your knees this way. If you have knee pain, you can hold on to them this way. And we've got that clock started. And then in this position, as you bring it up, you might find that you want to bring your leg up a little like that, and you get more of a stretch. Or bring it down, you get more of a stretch. Bring it closer to your tummy, or even just go over to the side a little bit. So move around until you feel where you can feel that deep pull, but not painful, just a good pull. And that's where we're going to hold it for 5 minutes. So traditional stretching, we hold something 10 to 30 seconds to help get the muscle. We're doing 5 minutes so we can get the fascia too, because the fascia, when it's really tight, as it is in most of our bodies, it prevents the muscles from being flexible and lithe. It prevents our natural postures from getting into its natural position. All right, 1 minute down. Now, if you're doing this and you're thinking, oh, this hurts, this is too much, that's okay. Take some pressure off. Maybe you need to be out here. Some of you will feel it here, and that's okay. Some of you will just feel it here. Just crossing your leg is enough to feel it over deep in the hip. This is where on my side over here I'm feeling it. For the rest of you, you just come up to where you feel, oh, that's a good stretch. And again, you can do all kinds of different things to help feel where you get a stretch. You've probably seen this position, but this is where we're going to start, and then you can modify as needed. This piriformis is one of those muscles in the body that no matter what we do, it takes the brunt of our tension, just being a human being alive on this planet. And, okay, 2 minutes down. And because it's tensed, normally when we stand, it's tensed a lot. And when a muscle is tensed for a long time, in that habitual state of however you stand or posture yourself, a tensed muscle shortens a little bit, becomes somewhat shortened, not terribly. It doesn't lose half of its length. But what happens when a muscle then becomes shortened, and it's shortened habitually for a long time, it loses power, it loses strength. And so you want to get those muscles flexible again. You want to get them stretched out so they're on their normal length, so that when you contract them, you're getting the full power, the full use of them. So a shortened, tense muscle doesn't do much for us when we need it to work. And these muscles in the hip, they're there to help. All right, we're at 3 minutes. They're there to help give balance and support to the pelvis, which takes the tension and the strain out of the back. Most people with low back pain, the patients that I saw over the years, most of them that were low back pain patients, their problems were coming from their hips. And once we got mobility and strength back into those hip muscles, their back pain just kind of faded away because it wasn't working hard anymore. It didn't have to do the work. The muscles in their core and their hips were doing the work to give support to the entire spine, which includes giving you a proper posture in standing. All right, make sure you're breathing. This is very easy. If you feel like, oh, it's not tight anymore, I don't feel it, bring your knees closer to your chest until you do feel it. You will. And again, you can move it around. Maybe if you move your knees away and towards the opposite side, you'll feel a little more of a pull. That's what I've noticed just now because I was starting to get that stretch going. You're doing great. You're doing great. And continue doing these 3 exercises. Do the first 2 on both sides of your body if you have hip pain on both sides. And then do both of your piriformis if both of them are troubling you. 14 days in a row, and after that, just maybe twice a week for maintenance until you're feeling really good. You'll notice that you sleep better. It's easier for you to be mobile, walking around, getting up and down out of chairs, reaching, standing, pushing, pulling, all of those, carrying, lifting. Everything becomes easier. All right, we're down in those last couple of seconds here. You're welcome to stay longer in this position. Won't hurt. You'll just get more release. And for the rest of you, you can come on down. Thank you so much for joining me today in this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.